Hey guys, Noel here, and it is Friday night. And after a long and tiring week, I thought it would be fun for us to do a video game video for the video game section of the YouTube channel. There have been a lot of videos recently about the 20th anniversary of the Sega Dreamcast, because Sega in the United States released the Dreamcast on September 9th, 1999, so it came out on 9999, which was a cool release date. But a lot of the narrative history about Sega after the Sega Genesis I don't particularly agree with. So I wanted to do a video about the Sega Dreamcast. I wanted to review an iconic game for the Sega Dreamcast and share some of my experiences about the Sega Dreamcast. Possibly not in that order. We will see. So, anyway, in the background, because Japanese advertising is always better, we have the Japanese mascot for the Sega Dreamcast, Mr. Sega, singing the Dreamcast song. This guy is the successor to Segata Sanshiro and Guy Gillionaire, who I am a fan of and online acquaintance of. Released a very cool video about this guy, so check that out. But the Dreamcast, let me share some of my experiences with Sega leading up to the Dreamcast. I had a Sega Genesis as my first video game system. From there, I upgraded to the Sega Saturn, and I loved both of them. I was a huge supporter of both those systems, and in fact, I think the Sega Saturn is actually my favorite video game console, despite the fact that in the United States it didn't sell anywhere nearly as well as the Sega Genesis. However, in Japan, its fortunes were reversed, and I really attribute a lot of the Saturn's lack of success in the United States to poor marketing on the part of Sega of America, and also poor ability to bring really good Japanese video games over to the United States, particularly fighting games like X-Men versus Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter Alpha 3, that kind of really cool 2D video game. Even the cutting-edge 3D video games like Burning Rangers got, to my recollection, little to no, and I think no advertising in the United States that I can remember. So Sega of America really did not market the Dreamcast, the Sega Saturn well. I think that resulted in it not selling well, whereas in Japan it was marketed phenomenally. In America we had weird screaming blue heads. And then you had Bernie Stolar running Sega saying that they weren't going to support the Sega Saturn for much longer, that it wasn't their future. That was the implication, that they weren't going to support it because it wasn't their future. So really poor management on the part of Sega of America, and Sega of Japan didn't really help matters much when Sonic Extreme was in development. There's some really cool videos about that. Let's actually watch that video again because it's fantastic. So, the narrative goes that, Sega just was, terrible until the Sega Dreamcast came out, and then it was just too little too late. And I disagree with that. In fact, I have a Sega 32X that I play often. So people often attribute that the Sega Saturn and the Sega 32X were failures on the part of Sega. I disagree with that. I think that the Sega 32X really enhanced the look of Sega Genesis games, and while it didn't have a lot of software support, it did have some cool marketing, which isn't obviously that important, but some of the games it did have were fantastic, like Mortal Kombat 2 and Virtua Fighter were phenomenal on it. So very, very cool stuff for the Sega 32X. So let's actually talk about the Sega Dreamcast, which many people say is like, oh, it's Sega's either best console or it redeemed Sega after the failures of the Sega Saturn and Sega 32X, which at least, they might have been failures business-wise, but as a video game fan, I don't consider them failures at all. And in fact, again, I consider Sega Saturn to be in some sense superior to the Sega Dreamcast and Sega Genesis. But let's take a look, because the Sega Dreamcast had an awesome lineup of games, and this is my Sega Dreamcast collection, at least in terms of the legitimate games that aren't either repros or burned. So this is what we have here. We have my wonderful foot. No, we have Marvel vs. Capcom, a Dreamcast, Capcom vs. SNK, the Japanese Power Stone, Shenmue, which is amazing, Namco Museum, Space Channel 5, Sonic Adventure, Street Fighter 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Plasma Sword, Evolution, and Dead or Alive 2, the Japanese version. And somewhere we have the demo disc that they came with my Sega Dreamcast. So Sega Dreamcast is an awesome system. I'm not saying that it's overrated, because I don't think it is overrated. I just think that it unfairly is viewed as Sega just doing, too little too late after these failure consoles of theirs. And I don't consider, at least by a quality standard, the Sega Saturn or the Sega 32X to be failures. So, without further ado, let's get down to review. Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast. Now, this game was in development for the Sega Saturn, which was doing well in Japan, and Sega of Japan really shot itself in the foot on the global market by not being more careful with the handling and planning of Sonic Extreme, the Sonic game that was supposed to be on the Sega Saturn. They basically just threw Sonic Extreme in the hands of inexperienced but well-intentioned American video game developers, and then just left them to their own devices. And the people who really made Sonic games successful, like Yuji Naka, just kind of ran off in Japan and made Knights, and didn't offer help to the people making Sonic Extreme, who really just drove themselves physically into the ground trying to get that game made. And Sega of Japan did not seem to be very helpful in that process. There's cool videos online that you can watch about the development of Sonic Extreme, so it's very cool stuff. But some of the ideas from Sonic Extreme, if you actually look at the script of Sonic Extreme, some of those ideas were carried over into Sonic Adventure. The idea of there being multiple Sonic characters with different styles of gameplay you can play. The idea of the Chaos Emeralds releasing a monster, and also the Chows were all script ideas from the American writers of Sonic Extreme. And eventually those got picked up and used as a story in Sonic Adventure. Now, as we've seen on an old video on the channel, there is actually a Sega Saturn demo of Sonic Adventure in Sonic Jam, but because the Saturn was not selling well globally outside of Japan, Sega decided to cut its losses and just go with the Dreamcast and port games like Sonic Adventure and Shenmue that were in development for the Saturn onto the Dreamcast. So, let's play some Sonic Adventure, which, truth be told, I love, but I've only beaten the game with Sonic. And I beat this game, a couple years after it came out. I liked it a lot, but I was pretty darn busy at the time, and I only beat the game with Sonic. So, let's play some Sonic Adventure. While Sega Sanshiro plays in the background here. Sega Sanshiro. Sega Sanshiro. Alright. I'm going to hit the lights, and you enjoy this demo of Sonic Adventure. So, I would often go to my best friend's house, and he had a very good video game collection. But the two consoles I played constantly were Sega Dreamcast and the Sony PlayStation. Excuse me. Now, let's, can I start a new game here? Final 3? That's Knuckles. Now, let's just start a new game. Can I still do a new game here? It's been a while. I have no idea what's on this here. Adventure. Okay, here we go. So we can see here, we can select Sonic. We can select this robot from Dr. Eggman, Big the Cat, Amy, Rose, Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic. Now, you'll notice that Sonic is talking in this game, and the cool thing about this game is Sonic can speak in English or he can speak in Japanese, which is super cool. You'll also notice that Sega has changed the design of Sonic, and if you look into the history of Sonic, you know there was a bit of rivalry in terms of Sega of America and Sega of Japan's design ideas for Sonic, where Sega of America did not want Sonic to look as edgy as Sega of Japan did, but now that Sega of Japan kind of got the upper hand over Sega of America, they have given Sonic a more edgy appearance, longer quills, some fangs, and just generally a more wild look to him. Now, both looks are cool, but, I mean, I personally prefer the classic Sonic look, which looked very cool in Japan as well. The Japanese artists did amazing work with the Sega Mega Drive Sonic, but the newer, edgier Dreamcast Sonic is also cool. Now, this game, I think, I don't know if I want to say it surpasses Mario 64, but it might. It takes the speed aspect of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think does a very good job of incorporating it in a 3D environment that utilizes a very in-depth story that puts Super Mario 64 to shame. And the whole breakneck speed flow does produce a lot of evocative excitement on the part of the player. Now, I unfortunately forgot to set this in Japanese language, so Sonic is going to just speak in English here. So we are kicking off right now to a boss fight, and you'll notice that to try to manage Sonic's speed and the 3D environment, we now have a homing attack, which was utilized in 2D Sonic games that came out on the Game Boy Advance and in Sonic 4. But this really, especially in 1999, was breathtaking in terms of its visuals. So Sega, I think, really hit a home run with this game. It's very good, it's very entertaining, it's very enjoyable, it's very beautiful. However, I do prefer the gameplay flow and general aesthetic to the two-dimensional Sonic games. That said, I do think that out of the 3D Sonic the Hedgehog games that I've played, and out of the 3D platform games that I've played in general, this is a gem that ranks up about as high as you can get, if not as high as you can get. It is a very, very well-crafted game.
You know nothing, fool! It's Chaos, the god of destruction!
It's Dr. Eggman. Who, incidentally, this is the series in which he started being called Dr. Eggman. And not Dr. Robotnik, which for me, as an American fan, was like, huh, that's kind of, it's a funny name. But I think it fits him better than Robotnik, but Robotnik, Eggman, you know, they're both his name.
Huh?
Here comes Tails. This actually does seem pretty reminiscent of the Sonic OVA. Sorry for coughing. I've been teaching all day, so my voice is a little...
Now, what am I gonna do with you?
Voice is a little off. But we see the diversity of environment in Sonic the Hedgehog. We see the fact that Sonic is now with people, which we saw in the Sonic Jam Sonic cartoons. And the music in this game is fantastic. Now the thing is that Sonic is so fast in this game that he is a little hard to control, but that just kind of adds to the excitement of the game here. And if you look at the demos of Sonic Extreme, I mean, that game looks extremely interesting, but this game is much more intuitive and I think aesthetically pleasing than Sonic Extreme. But I still have high expectations for Sonic Extreme, and I hope that the Sonic Z-Stream game that is in development, that is a kind of a homebrew game, does come out, because that utilizes the Sega Saturn hardware and the Sonic Extreme graphics. Now this right here, this shifting of camera angles and this, running from this killer whale here was heavily featured in advertising, and it really, really caught, my eye and a lot of people's eye. And it's just so much of a shame that the Sega Dreamcast was, I think, one, not backwards compatible with the Sega Saturn, and two, was not supported longer in the United States, because I certainly was all about it. The Japanese ads for this game are also hilarious, too. They have Sonic plushies, and Sonic is always just getting into hilarious accidents, so... I am quite upset the fact that Madonna was never used as a Sonic the Hedgehog character, though. That needs to be corrected. I'm very much looking forward to the Mega Drive / Genesis Mini as well, that is produced directly by Sega as opposed to At Games. That said, though, the At Games HD, outside of some noticeable quirks, was not a bad system. Just don't put any of your battery games in it. And that should have a warning on it for that. And the lag on games like RBI 94 makes the game unplayable. But other games have no lag and beautiful HD graphics, and it is a modern Sega Genesis you can play your cartridges on. It comes also loaded with some fantastic Mega Drive games, and I just died. No! So let's see if we can beat this level here. Now, Sonic Extreme seemed to have a problem in its development with balancing out the 3D world and enemies. This game seems to be able to handle that well. There are some enemies that I can handle well with my homing attack, while at the same time having a world to explore that's very rich and lush and beautiful. Whoa. We are nearing completion, and this beautiful beach is our home stretch. Echo! And there's Tails. So guys, there we have it. That is Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast, and also my experiences and retrospective on the Sega Dreamcast, just in terms of my take on, real briefly, some of the historical narratives about Sega and the Sega Dreamcast, and some of my experiences and memories with the system. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, my name's Noel. You take care, and let's get a new Sega console. Come on, please. Pray for it. Bye-bye.